Okay, now I'm going to go over question 4, 5, and 6. Okay, for question 4, it is really not that hard. Okay, so first, the question is, what is the value of this expression? So you know there's an addition and there's a parenthesis. You have to do the one in the parentheses first. Remember, the rule is parentheses, and then multiply and divide if there's no parentheses, and add and subtract last. But if there is parentheses, the parentheses trump the rest of the other operations. So whatever in the parentheses, you do that first. So it's just really simple. 24 plus 1/5. Don't make it 24 over 1. Just think about it as 24. What is 24 plus 1/5? Is 24 fifths. Okay, so let's do another problem. Let's select 3 plus 5 plus 1/3. Okay, this is easy. I said plus here. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 1/3 is 8 and 1/3. Yeah, so whatever the whole number is, when you add the whole number and a fraction, you just write the whole number, then the fraction. So 10 plus 1/2 would be 10 and a half. 5 and 1/3. Let me draw that. Let me write that. 5 plus 1/3 is 5 and 1/3. Don't make life harder than it already is. Okay? Okay, so let's go with number 5. Natalie's brother weighs 23 and 6/10 pounds. She weighs 3 and 8/10 times as much as her baby brother. What is Natalie's weight in pounds? So remember, your answer has to be about 80, right? How do I know that? I rounded this to the nearest tens because that's easy to do. 20, and I rounded to the nearest whole number, 4. So 20 times 4 is 80, and I know it's not 25, right? So I can eliminate that problem. And I can multiply this. If you don't know how to multiply, please do ask me questions. And also, it's not 896.8. Yeah, it's 80. And the reason you know this, because this is one number behind decimal point, and this is one number behind decimal point. So you should have two numbers behind decimal point, right? Two numbers, not just one number behind decimal point. If you don't know how to multiply this, please do ask me. Send me a chat message, and I'll be happy to go over it with you. Okay, so remember, if you have two numbers behind decimal point in the problem, you should have two numbers behind decimal point in your question as well, in your answer as well. Okay, now let's look over number 6. What is the value of this expression? Okay, so there's a bracket here, and there's no sign here. When there's no sign, that's a multiplication. When there's no sign between here and parentheses, that's mean a multiplication. So you rewrite it. You write the number 3, you write your multiplication, you write your bracket. 3 and 6/10 minus 2 times 1 and 4/10. You don't need to do this parenthesis in the middle because you already replaced it with a multiplication. So now, like I said earlier, write your rules. Is parentheses first, multiply and divide from left to right, and add and subtract from left to right. It's PEMDAS. We just don't do the E because the exponent, we're going to learn that in 6th grade. Okay, so we just do PEMDAS without the E. So now let's look at the one inside the parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you have a subtraction and a multiplication sign. So you look at the rule. You have to multiply first before you add or subtract. So you do this one first, which is 2 and 8/10. Right? I just double that. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 1 is 2, or you could do it on the side. Remember, do all your work on the side, not under your equation here or your expression. One number behind decimal point, so this has one number behind decimal point, right? This one only. Minus, and then 3 6/10. And don't forget your parentheses or your brackets. And 3 times. What do you do first? Is it the one outside the bracket or the one inside the bracket? Inside the bracket, because that's what the rule is. You do the parentheses or the bracket or the grouping symbol. Okay, 3 6/10 minus 2 8/10. Is it 2 2/10? No, do it because 6 is less than 8, right? So 6 is less than 8, so you need to borrow and regroup. And this is 2, this is 8, 16 minus 8 is 8, and this is 0. If you're not very good at subtracting, because when I was at school, I'm not very good at it either. I always check my work. I said, okay, 8 plus 8 is 16. So that's right, right? Carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay. So it's 3 6/10. So this answer is right. Okay. I don't need to do the bracket anymore because I already did the operation. So now last one, I have to do 3 times 8/10. So you do 0.8. Remember, you do it on the side. You didn't do it under here because it's just cluttering your workspace. 8 times 3 is 4. Carry your 2. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. How many number behind decimal point? Just this one. So you put your dot here. Okay. When you multiply, and just multiplying is when you don't line up your decimal point. For addition, subtraction, and division, you line up your decimal point. So that's number 6, right? This one, number 7, said Malachi added 18 to the product of 324 and 17. What is the sum? So you need to multiply these two numbers first because product means to multiply. And then you add the 18 once you get the product. Okay, unfortunately, your smart estimate will not help you in this case. Okay, as I mentioned before, if you don't know how to multiply this, please do send me a text, a chat, and Teams student comments and question. Okay, number 8 is asking you which model represents 3/4 of 16. Of means just multiplying, right? 3/4 of 16 is just 3/4 times 16 and 1 because this is just 16. 16 divided by 1 is 16. And as I said before, when you multiply the numerators times the numerator. Why doesn't it work? Multiply this 2 and then you multiply these 2. Okay? So you multiply the numerators times numerator and denominators times denominator. 16 times 3 is 48. How do I do that? I just say, okay, 16 times 3. I'll do it in my head. That's 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Stop. Okay, and I carry the 1 here. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So it's 48 over 4. This one is an improper fraction. Every time you have an improper fraction, you divide 48 divided by 4. Okay, let me slow down and say that. Every time you have an improper fraction, to make it, in the simplest form, what you do is to divide, because this is mean 48 divided by 4, which is, I know that, you know that, is 12, right? So you should have 12. The answer is 12. Which one is 12? Is this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 from 13, 14, 15, 16. Another way to look at this is to look at which one has 3/4 out of 15. So you have to have I'm sorry, 3/4 of 16. So you have to have 16 in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is 16. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also 16. This is also 16. So you could actually eliminate this one because it's not 16, right? Even though it's 3/4, that's 3/4 of 4, right? So this is all 16, but you have to have 3/4 of it shaded. This one has 3/4, but just in the first one. It should have shaded 3/4, 3/4, and 3/4. That would be right. Yeah, that would be 12 as well. But this one is shaded 3 out of 4 groups, 3/4 of 16, excuse me. Number 9, which is 3 and 456, or 3 and 456 thousandths, rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, you should know which one is in the tens place. Come on, kids. Missing questions like this is like really, really sad. You just missed the easiest question. This is the tens place. If you don't remember, if you need help to remember you can use the what? The ETBT1. You put 1 under your decimal point. If it's in the tens place, it's just write number 10. That's number 4. If you needed the one in the hundreds place, you'd write your ETBT1 under your dot, your decimal point, and you add 0 for hundreds. So this 5 is in the hundreds place. And you put your ETBT1, 1, 2, 3. So you know the 6 is in the thousandths place. That's how you help you remember. There's a little trick to help you remember which one is in the tens, hundreds, and thousandths place. So this is tens, and this is in the hundreds, and this is in the thousands place. It's asking you which is 3 and 456 thousandths rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, you underline the tenths place, and then you circle the hundredths place, and you look at the problem and said, okay, is it closer to 400 or 500? Or you can look at it also and say, okay, you say 5 or more, up the score, 4 or less, let it rest, right? So you know 456 is closer to 3 and 5 tenths, or 3 and 500 thousandths, which is the same thing. Okay, so what is the rule or the tools or the way to do it? Underline the place value where you're rounding it to and circle the next one and think about it. It's not that hard. And you chose the one that rounded to the nearest. I don't know. It's not even right. But anyway, okay. You still don't understand what I'm talking about. As always, ask me a question. Okay, we are going to look at the last problem. Okay, I already did it in the previous, I already recorded it, but I messed up. So what we're going to do is to divide this, and I have to talk really, really fast because I have like 1 minute. So if you are dividing 33 and 6/10, right, by 45, okay, put your decimal point where it should go, line up, okay, and you say, okay, 3 is less than 45, so this is a 0, right, and then I bring down my 6. Oh man, 36 is still less than 45, so you put another 0, so you can say, okay, bye-bye, you two, okay, and this is 0, okay, so I need to add extra 0, or called trailing 0, which doesn't change the value. 360 divided by 48 is 8. 8 times 45 is 360. And I'm done. That's my answer. Okay, if you need to, you could double check 0.08 times 45, and you do it. And you know, because you have 2 number behind decimal points here, your answer have to have 2 number behind decimal point. Okay, so I hope this helped with you to get ready for your benchmark tomorrow. Bye.